All right, Jim, we are live. What is going on, everybody? We are ready to rock. Jim, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sunshine. We are rising and grinding here. The NFL Combine was underway. It is done. We've got some results. Today, we're talking about running backs, man, my favorite topic. And I've always been a lover of rookie running backs. The main thing I want to put out here as a disclaimer, it depends on where they land, but it doesn't hurt to talk about it and dive into some guys we like. So we got 4 running backs that we like. I've got 2. Jim's got 2. We're ready to dive in. Jim, welcome to the show, man. Everything good with you? What's happening?
Everything's great, man. It's like I said, we got fake spring happening out here in New Mexico. It's beautiful, sunny skies and nice weather. Not quite, well, I wouldn't really call it warm, but highs in the high 50s, low 60s. Very nice, very mild, and it's nice to see the snow gone. So
For sure.
but there will be more snow. There will definitely be more snow before the season's over. That's why we call it fake spring. So.
For sure, man. And now with the off season, it's hard. We're just trying to find things to do, without football. It's hard, but watching and like scouting these rookies is just so much fun. It's going to help you guys with dynasty as well. I want to try, this is a little more of a dynasty content, but also, talking rookie running backs here. Now, I got some huge news, huge announcement, which I want to share in a moment. So make sure you guys smash thumbs up, leave a thumbs up, drop a comment. Main thing important that is, hit the bell, turn on that bell. That is very important, but smash the thumbs up. It takes a second of your time, and we're going to get rocking here. Jim, before we start, you know how the episodes start. We're going to go over the latest news and notes here. I want to talk a little bit of news and notes. Let me take away the smash thumbs, and let me play the music here for you. Doesn't it feel like you're in like a newsroom or something like that when that theme song comes on? Don't you like that, Jim?
Oh, yeah, sure. We just have to have the fake sounds of typewriters behind us. Remember how they used to have that on the news programs? Because all those busy reporters back there typing away on their keyboards. I guess that's a different era, right? I'm dating myself here, but
Yeah. All right. I just want to talk about some news here. Let me put up my banner. Do I have I have a banner for this, don't I? Yeah, there's a banner for everything. All right. So Russell Wilson released. What are your thoughts on that? Russell Wilson, is he gonna finally cook somewhere? What are your thoughts?
Well, my first thought is I really don't understand what the Denver Broncos are doing. It's an $85 million dead cap hit to cut him. The salary cap is only like $250 million or something like that. It's not that much. And this is like going to take a gigantic chunk out of that. So I would not expect much out of Denver this year. They're not going to be able to acquire any free agents. They've got their draft picks. They're going to be bringing in a new quarterback. Who knows who that's going to be? Maybe it's probably going to be a rookie, what's that guy? JJ. I'm still learning the names, but anyway, they've got the 10th overall pick. They're not going to get one of the elite quarterbacks, but they're still going to try with another one of these round 1 quarterbacks. I don't know.
JJ McCarthy.
I don't think it's great, but for Russell, I think it's fantastic. I think it's a fresh start, and he still gets his $85 million,
Who you're thinking about is JJ McCarthy, but I don't know what they're doing. I just, it's funny because as we're breaking news, I get a notification of breaking news. So there was a rumor that the Steelers are interested in Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. Apparently that's not the fact. So the Steelers are not interested in either Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. That's what I just heard. And I heard they're just going to like bank on Kenny Pickett. Like, I don't know about Kenny Pickett, man. I don't know if
I think we've seen enough. I don't think he could do it. He's not any sort of solution for what that team is lacking. So
no, not at all.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. They benched him this past year. Remember, they benched him for Mason Rudolph, and Mason Rudolph didn't do any better. I think he got benched for Mitch Trubisky too. I mean, he's not a good quarterback, and so I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're. I mean, it's almost impossible for me to say that maybe they're going to tank for next year, but I don't know. It's just not a good situation at all.
News changes really quickly. It's crazy, but real quick here, I just want to rip through some things that I'm reading as headlines. Jarrett Stidham could be the team's starting quarterback in 2024 if they don't trade up to take one in the NFL draft. Jarrett Stidham, man. I mean, he
We're
looked,
talking about for Denver, right? Is that what you're talking about?
yeah. I mean, he looked okay in the last 2 games of the season, but unlikely he'll do anything more. That's really going to shine and be the franchise guy. It's just Jarrett Stidham, really.
Yeah,
I,
and I just need to say that this team has a serious talent deficit right now. I mean, Cortland Sutton, he was okay for fantasy because he got 10 touchdowns, but you look at his numbers, they weren't great. Jerry Jeudy is just awful, just terrible. He's probably not even going to be on the team this year. Javonte Williams did crap last year. He really looked bad coming back. I mean, who do you want on this team offensively? I can't think of any names that I would really want to take. That's where I'm at with that team. It's just really a bad situation.
yeah, a couple of things just to highlight here. Again, I think we may have talked about it. I did. Mike Evans signs a 2-year, $52 million. Includes $35 million guaranteed. A little expensive for an older wide receiver who's still performing well, but not a guy that I'm excited about. Mike Evans, are you drafting him this year in fantasy, or is he kind of over the hill in your opinion?
Well, last week we were talking about Chris Godwin, but I was only in on Chris Godwin if Mike Evans left. Mike Evans is there, so I'm out on Godwin now. I think he's going too high in drafts right now. Personally, last year he was a bargain. He was like an 8th or 9th round pick. Nobody was betting on him at all. He turned out to be a wide receiver 1. That's fantastic value. But this year you got to take him in like the 4th round. I just can't spend that much draft capital on someone who's over age 30 as far as wide receivers go. It's just too risky. So, and plus he doesn't have a good quarterback either. I don't think the quarterback's any good either. So, you got that.
All right, let's shift gears here. Is there anything else? Oh, another thing I don't think it's worth talking about, but I'm not a fan. I really dislike the Kelsey brothers. But what's his name? Retired. What's his face? One of the center guy that
Jason Kelsey.
I don't see the hype, man. Like, I know he was a good center, but he was a center.
Yeah, he was a really good center. Yeah. There's a couple of huge losses on that offensive line because they're saying that one of the other offensive linemen is also going to retire. That's going to be a real issue for Philly to address in the offseason if they want to continue to be productive. Obviously those guys were a big part of the tush push. Hey man, tush push, it works. It worked like nearly every time. I'm not sure it's going to be nearly as effective this year with Kelsey gone.
Jim, was I having a technical issue you were pointing up there? I don't know. Was that something?
Oh yeah, I was pointing to my Kelsey Crunch cereal. Kelsey.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay, yeah, I was just multitasking. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I mean, I don't see the hype, man. Okay, yeah, he's a center. He did well, but the 1 hour, speech and the tears, it was like a funeral, dude. Like, I mean, you get to walk away with millions of dollars. You've got a top podcast. Like, you're doing well. What's all the tears about? There's people starving in different parts of the world. And, it's like, there's no perspective there on reality. And I really think the narcissism is real. That's why I don't like these guys. Like, they're extremely narcissistic. And, okay, you retired. Other people retire. It's emotional. Yeah. But like, to do an hour speech and pump it up, it's a little overrated for a center, like a position that nobody really cares about, in my opinion. But anyway.
Well, I mean, it's as far as athletes go, these are still young men, and they're still, I mean, it's hard to say like, hey, I can't do it anymore. I mean, that's hard when that's been your whole life. Your whole life has been his ability to play football, and to say that you can't do it anymore, that's tough, man. I can understand where he would. I didn't watch the retirement thing or anything, but anyway.
I saw clips.
But, I could understand that'd be an emotional time. It's you're saying goodbye to your whole life, basically,
Yeah.
So,
all right, Jim, let's move on to the running backs. That's why everybody's here. Rookie running backs. We got 4 of them here for you. 4 big ones here. And I got an announcement here. So smash thumbs up, like it, comment, big announcement. But before I give the announcement, I want everybody to turn on the bell. Whoa, what was that? Was that a lion? lion mentality. There's a lion in the room here. So turn on that bell. Magical twinkle. Smash a thumbs up. I got an announcement here. So you guys know we're doing the Fantasy Sports Summit, right? Jim, you're aware of the Fantasy Sports Summit?
Of course.
Yeah, so we're doing the Fantasy Sports Summit. It's going to have athletes. The first guy that we've booked is Tajay Spears. But guess who's signing an agreement to be at the Fantasy Sports Summit? You know, we got other athletes.
Is it one of the guys we're going to talk about today?
It's going to be one of the guys we're going to talk about, but which rookie running back is it? Some people may know in the comments, drop who you think it's going to be. We'll just tell you when it happens. So we're going to save that to the end. So you guys got to say, but he's going to be at the Fantasy Sports Summit. Now, if you want to secure a ticket, go to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. Under 16 rounds, there's a package. You get combo the solution with the summit. And it's such a great deal. Or you can get the summit alone. It's only $29. Absolute steal. And automatically enter to win a PS5 once you're in the summit. So Jim, once they sign up to the summit, they're automatically enter. We're going to reveal the PlayStation 5 winner. We're going to do mock drafts. We're going to have Q&A with athletes. And today we are announcing the person that's coming to the Fantasy Sports Summit. Now I just sent him the agreement yesterday. His agent said he's in. I got a verbal confirmation, but yeah, it's going to be huge. Actually, I should put this in my story mode right now. Jim, why don't you go through your first guy? Let me load up my story. I'm going to tell people to join the live because there's a big announcement. They got to jump onto YouTube. We're going to make it big. We're going to get the fireworks. Do you have champagne, Jim? Do you have anything to pop here for the event? You should have brought some confetti or something.
We should have brought, you need a confetti effect on here.
have it all on the screen. This is huge. I mean, Tajay Spears coming is pretty cool because I think he's going to be the starter. Like, you don't invest a third-round pick in a guy, you know, get him ready behind one of the best running backs of all time in Derrick Henry, the king himself, and then bench him. Like, I don't see any foreseen circumstance that Tajay Spears sits. Do you? Like, I don't see it.
I don't. I mean, the only thing I can think is that they bring in another top-tier running back, you know, one of the free agents. But even if they draft, a running back in this class, I wouldn't be too worried about it. The talent pool for running backs is pretty thin this year. So, you know, we were initially going to go with 6 rookie running backs, but we decided to just stick with 4 because we were having a real tough time coming up with someone else. So, you know.
All right. Before we get into your guy, then I'll go to my guy. This is exciting stuff. I'm going to do a quick thing on my Instagram story. Okay. All right, Instagram, I'm on live here with YouTube. And YouTube, sorry, guys, I'm going to be rude here to the Instagram people. Guys, go over. I got a big announcement coming up right now on YouTube. Right here. Click on the link. Join us live right now. All right, guys, I did that. All right, Jim, do you want to go to your first guy here? Sorry, YouTube, I'm being rude here. I'm talking to Instagram. I don't care. I'm just being myself. All right, go ahead, Jim. Sorry. Who's your first?
Yeah, okay. So the first guy I'm very much interested in during the offseason here is Jaylen Wright. He's a Tennessee running back. He is a junior. 5'11", 210 pounds, just ran a 4.38 40-yard dash, which is very, very good. And he ranked second in his athleticism profile amongst running backs in the combine. So that was great to see. Now, Jaylen Wright has been kind of a low volume player during his college career. He had 146 carries in 2022, 137 in 2023. But he did average over 6 yards per carry on both seasons. He caught 22 passes in 2023, but had virtually no receiving volume. So this guy is a ground and pound guy only, but he's only 20 years old. This guy is young and he's hungry and obviously just a bit of an athletic freak, getting those great ratings on the athleticism score. The dude's going at ADP 162, wow. Virtually free. And I would pick him up every chance I get in every draft right now. And I'm hoping he goes to a good location.
I'm just looking at this, Jim. He's 21, actually. You got everything else right. From what I hear, he's a home run threat, explosive runner. And what was his combine time? What was his 40-yard dash?
4.38.
So he had the best.
Very, very fast. He was amongst the very top.
Yeah, I think he was the top, wasn't he? I think he was. We should have had
no, he wasn't actually. The other guy I'm talking about was the top. But
okay,
this guy, again, very good. Second overall in his athleticism profile. So I love that. Love the upside. And I love the fact that he's so young. So, I think he's got...
Again, I want to do a disclaimer here that you have to wait to see where they land. And like you said about his ADP, that's going to shoot up depending on where he lands. The two guys I'm going to mention, I think they have a great landing spot. I really do. Let's go to the comments here. What are people saying in the comments here? I haven't even looked. Good morning. Guys, drop some questions below about rookie running backs and big announcement coming soon. So make sure you guys do turn on the bell, smash thumbs up. So yeah, Jaylen Wright, I mean, the talent is there. That 1,000-yard rushing season I'm seeing here. His touchdowns could have been higher. What do you have? 4 touchdowns last season. I would like to see more volume out of him, but I mean, there's more tread in the tire, I would say, right?
Yeah, and it's not like Tennessee was a particularly good team either. So he was playing
Yeah.
on a bad team. But like I said, I think again, he only got 4 touchdowns last year, but his yards per carry was 7.4.
Yeah.
Very explosive. He's a very explosive player, and again, not really involved in the passing game. Let's see here. Last season, he had 22 receptions. That's not too bad. 22 receptions is all right for 141 yards. So he could do a little bit with his hands. But I think, like I said, he's a dynamic guy, and he's really fast. And so I like that. And he's big too. And that's another thing. You looked at some of the guys that were drafted last year, they're pretty small. He's 210. He's a big guy. I think he could maybe put on a little bit more weight, but that's a pretty good size to speed ratio. So I like that.
All right, Jaylen Wright, explosive. Apparently he's got good. He could, switch directions pretty quickly, cut pretty quickly. I mean, the explosiveness is huge. I don't think he's tapped his ceiling based on what we've seen in college. Depending on the landing spot, we could have ourselves a big league winner, depending on landing spot, right? I mean, there's some upside. The athleticism is there. That's the gist and the feel I'm getting from him. I'm going to go to my guy here. I'm really excited about this guy. Not as excited as the first guy here. The guy that I'm going to mention after this guy, not the first guy, second guy. You know what I mean? So the guy I'm talking about is Blake Corum. Now, the cool thing about this guy is he's out of Michigan, and he broke the record for most rushing touchdowns. I think he had, 27 last year. I don't know if you looked into him, Jim.
Yes, I did. He had, let's see here. What did he have?
27 touchdowns.
27 touchdowns, yes. And he had 18 the year before.
Yeah, that's a record for Michigan University, okay? So amazing. Now, he's an amazing pass catcher, but he was not utilized completely in the pass catching. He can catch the ball. He was just not known for it. He's short. He's 5'8", 213, age 23. The scouts are saying he's old, Jim. He's 23, he's old. And that's kind of like his knock. He's a little old. He's a little short. But the man is strong. His vision is amazing. The guy can cut. He's got speed. Now, he only ran a 4.53, so he doesn't have that home run speed like a Jaylen Wright or some of the other guys we're going to talk about here. That's my concern. That's another concern the scouts are looking at. Now, he does have that Michigan connection with Harbaugh, who is actually in LA, and the Chargers need a running back. So I would not be surprised. Now, again, this is what the scouts are saying. This is what the media is saying, that this guy is going to be a day 2, possibly day 3 guy. And he may end, this is my opinion, I think he may end up on the Chargers with the Harbaugh connection. So, again, I'm excited about him. Again, he's a physical runner. A lack of height, people say this. I don't care. Another thing that I like about him, Jim, this is huge. Have you listened to him talk? Have you listened to any of his speeches?
I haven't. No, I have not.
He's got that lion mentality. He's got the blue collar. I'm going to grit it out. I've got the lion mentality. I'm hungry. There's more to be had. He's a good locker room guy. That's what I like about him. So Blake Corum.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what? I did see an interview with him, and I remember him saying that he would run through a wall for Jim Harbaugh. So, I think he and there is a possibility he could end up on the Chargers. I was looking at what are their picks. Their first 3 rounds of picks are all early in the round. I don't think he would go that early. Like their round 3 pick is pick 69 overall. But round 4, pick 105, that's very early in the 4th round. And I could definitely see them taking someone like him at that point. And so I think there's a good possibility that he could be available at that point in the draft, and the Chargers could take him. And that'd be exciting. That would be exciting.
I like him. I think the talent is there. I think the work ethic is there. I think he's like a perfect prototype of a running back. I mean, there's so much upside with this kid. It's all about landing spot and volume. This guy could be special.
I mean, I do have some concerns. He played for 4 seasons. So that's one of the reasons why he's as old as he is at 23 years old. His yards per carry has fallen each of the past 3 years. It went from 6.6 in 2021 to 5.9 in 2022 to 4.8 in 2023. That's not good, especially when you consider how good the team is overall. And also when you consider the fact that in college, he's playing against a bunch of 18 and 19-year-olds. He should just be like plowing over them as a 23-year-old. But, again, I wish it was a little bit bigger, but you cannot deny the workhorse workload he has had. 247 carries in 2022, 258 carries in 2023. He's got the ability to be a workhorse if you need him. His athleticism ranking, he was 12th overall, though. That's, like I said, these are little concerns. I'm not sure. Can he really make it at the next level? I want to say yes, he can, but there are some concerns here that I have. But yeah, he's the only guy we're talking about today that actually carried a workhorse workload in college. That has had the 250 carries this season. So that says something.
We're not talking about Braylon Allen. Also, he's a big guy, 6'2", 245. He's another prospect who didn't run the 40-yarder. He actually had a lot of tread worn off. 597 attempts in his career. Blake Corum, 674 attempts in his career. So he's run a lot. So some people can say, well, the tread is worn off and he's 23. But, haters are going to say what haters are going to say, and scouts are going to say what scouts are going to say. These guys are, in the back, in the bleachers, pushing pens. So I don't believe anything. What matters is when his work ethic hits the field and how that's going to translate into reality and fantasy points. I can't wait for, again, they said that this running back class is not exciting, but it can be if these guys are put in the right place and there is a ton of homes. Dallas is looking for a running back. The Chargers are looking for a running back. There are teams where they could be a plug and play and it could be exciting stuff. So Blake Corum, again, exciting stuff. Let me know what you guys think in the comments here.
Yeah. And his ADP 134. Again, these guys are so cheap. They're like virtually nothing on the draft board right now. Absolutely, you could take a chance on Blake Corum if you can get him in. That's the 11th round? Yeah. Or 12th round?
But as soon as he ends up on the Chargers or a team like that, he's going to shoot up the draft.
Yeah, he'll rise up. He'll rise up. Yeah, for sure.
Probably a top 20 back for sure if he's the starter for the Chargers. Top 15 maybe. All right, who's your other guy here, Jim, as we move on here? Do you want a musical cue, Jim? All right.
A little bit better one. Like sound effect or the pew, something like that.
Hold on, we got something for you. Ready, Jim? All right, your next one.
Sure. Oh, okay. Well, all right.
That's more of like
I said, we need to get a couple more sound effects. Like I said, we need to get the little speedy running sound, But my guy is Isaac Guerendo, the running back from Louisville. And I'm very excited about this player. And let me tell you what, no one was even thinking about him before the combine. And in fact, on the platform where I do my best ball drafts, they don't even have him on the list to draft. He's not even available yet. I actually sent him a message saying, hey, you need to get this guy on your draft board. And they're like, oh yeah, I guess we do. So, but anyway, Isaac Guerendo went out there on Saturday, and he ran the 5th fastest time ever for a running back in the 40-yard dash. It was like 4.33 seconds. This dude is 6 foot tall, 221 pounds. And his athleticism score, he got the highest athleticism score in the NFL Combine for running backs. For me, when I look at this guy's stats and how he compares, he's like Devin Achane, but he's bigger, but he's just as fast. And that's one of the big knocks I have against Devin Achane is he's only 188 pounds. This guy's got 30 pounds on him and is still just as fast. Very explosive player. There's a lot of upside. 25% of his carries in college went for 10 plus yards. This guy, like I said, he can be absolutely explosive to whatever team drafts him. And that just makes me super excited.
Well, again, when I looked at all the magazines and the sites and all that stuff, he was not listed on anywhere. So he's not a top prospect coming out of college. Now, again, you gave some negative things about my guy. Again, he was off everybody's radar, like you said. I don't think he's rushed for 1,000 yards his entire college career, right?
Well, he's been a low volume player. He had 64 carries in 2022 and 132 carries in 2023. Really, all these guys have been pretty low volume, except for Blake. Blake Corum is the only one that had a workhorse workload.
Okay.
But again, this dude is speedy and shifty. The 3-cone, 6.94 seconds, 41.5-inch vertical. This dude is exciting. This is an exciting guy. I want to see this guy on the field. Just because he's so fast.
But again, we live in a shallow, fake world where they'll look at him and say, well, he was never that amazing in college. He doesn't stand out like a Jonathan Brooks or a Blake Corum or the other guy you mentioned, Mr. Wright, Jaylen Wright. So I think he's going to just fall in drafts. He's going to end up being a 5th round pick. Maybe that runtime spikes him up a bit. He'll end up in a committee as a backup and maybe come up for some explosive plays. I don't see him being the main workhorse anywhere. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing the upside that Devin Achane kind of showed everyone last season how valuable these fast running backs can be. And you put him in the right offense, and he's going to be an explosive player. I mean, my big fear with this guy is they're going to stick him on special teams. They're going to have him catch punts and kickoffs. I'm like, I don't want that to happen. But right now, like I said, you can't even draft this guy. He's not even on the list. So once he gets on there, again, it's going to be a late round pick. Past pick 140, you're going to be able to get him easy with a very low risk play. And I think that just the upside is so tremendous on this guy. I'm excited to see what he can do in the NFL in the right situation.
We've seen it before. I don't know if you remember, but Todd Gurley in college ran with a guy named, what's his name? They were called Gershel. Help me out here. Keith Marshall. He came out, I think he ran a 4.29 or a 4.31. And Keith Marshall looked amazing at the combine, ran like the fastest time. This was like 6-7 years ago. And and then he ended up playing for the Washington Commanders back then.
Well, that's the first error right there.
Yeah. That was the problem, right? And this was back in 2016, 2017, give or take a year. And he did nothing. And like he became, he ran that amazing time and did nothing with it. So again, I see things like that. But then again, you see guys drafted in the 5th round, like Kyron Williams, and then they come out and they tear it up for fantasy. So anything can happen. He definitely turns some heads, right? Like they always that analogy, turning your heads. I always visualize someone going like, oh my God, like he turns. He turns some heads. So Isaac Guerendo, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I don't care. That's just what I do. You turn some heads. Oh my God, look at that guy. So it might jump him up a spot in the thing, but I'm not overly excited initially for fantasy. Maybe for dynasty. Dynasty could be good.
Well, sure. I mean, like I said, it all depends on where he ends up. But you put him on the right offense, and I think he's going to be utilized because the guy this is a guy that can make plays. Again, 25% of his carries in college, 10+ yards, averaged over 6 yards per carry over the past 2 seasons. So, again, he's an explosive player. He can do some good in the NFL. So, and he's big enough. That's a big thing. He is big enough for me to trust him. I trust him way more than I would trust Devin Achane.
Oh my God, I don't even have the banner ready for this guy. It's a big announcement. Are you ready for the big announcement? I have to write his name in here. I got to get it right. If I spell it wrong, it's going to look really, really bad. I'm getting the banner ready here. Do you know the announcement, Jim? You know the announcement, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess you're going to make it right now. Yes, for the fantasy football conference that we're doing.
All right. I don't know if I have a good sound effect for this one though. I have a Connor song. Remember Connor? What happened to Connor, man? We don't have him.
Oh no, we don't put that song on. No, that's a terrible choice for this one. You have like horns or anything, like a or something like that, or.
Well, let me get rid of this banner because we're not talking about Isaac anymore. So I got a sound effect. You ready?
Sure, let's go for it.
It's like a rocket ship or something. It's like
that's like someone going by real quick. I think that's a good one for the running backs here. So.
We need a better studio audience, don't you think?
Sure, get a more robust clapping.
That's more like an Oprah Winfrey documentary type, sad documentary type clap there. All right, let's just get to the news here.
We now have breaking news.
All right. I should probably just get to it. I do so much of a build-up, and it becomes anticlimactic. All right, let's go.
Just tell everybody. Tell us.
All right, so I'm talking to Trey Benson. He's going to end up being at the Fantasy Sports Summit, man. This guy could be... No, this is actually more exciting than it sounds. So everyone's kind of like Trey Benson. Yeah, like they don't really like a lot of people don't know how good this guy potentially could be. So I looked at some mock drafts, and this guy could actually be the starting running back for the Dallas Cowboys. So there's a lot of excitement. So we got him. I'm in the middle. His agent said yes. So we're going to sign him. He's going to be at the sports summit. But where he's going to land makes us so much more exciting. He could be the starting running back for the Chargers or the Cowboys, or he could be in a committee with someone. It doesn't matter. This guy is going to be one of, if not the first running back off the board for this draft, a second round guy. Dude, I'm excited about Trey Benson, and his ADP is going to shoot up. I don't know. Where is this guy sitting right now? He's probably like
ADP 126 right now. So
again, yeah, we're ahead of the curve. We're actually getting him on the show. We're getting him on the show. Like this is what, and he's going to be on the show as well. We're going to get him for a podcast interview as well. So I'm just looking here, and yeah, this is what I mean. The sheep are completely sleeping. I guess they want to know where he lands. But man, what is the RB? He's like RB 30, 40, something like that. Like I'm excited. Are you excited about him? I mean, let's take a look at him. Like physical runner, strong. He can catch the ball. Now they're saying like he can catch the ball, but they're a little concerned about his catch. That's the only concern, is that maybe his catching game isn't up to par. That he may not be a 3-down back based on his lack of catching. Now, he had 20 receptions last year for 227 yards and 1 touchdown, right? But he got it done, right? 906 yards, 5.8 yards per carry, 14 touchdowns on the ground, and he doesn't have a lot of tread worn off. 316 attempts on his entire career in the 3 years that he played there. Man, I don't know. There's so much upside with. He's got the power, he's got the vision, and he's got the speed. He ran a 4.39 here, Jim. So I mean, he's everything that we're looking for. He's out of Florida State. The second coming of Dalvin Cook is what I hear. So I don't know. I think there's a ton of upside here, Jim. I'm excited about him.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got the size. He's 6 foot, 216 pounds. I'd like to see him maybe put on a little bit more weight, but he's only 21. This is a young guy, another young guy. Only played, I believe he only played 3 seasons at Florida State before declaring. So that's good. He did not compete in the agility drills at the combine. So that's a little disappointing. I think he's probably going to do it on the pro day when they do that. But he did rank 3rd overall in the RB in his athleticism score for RBs. So fantastic. And yeah, I mean, averaging 6.1 yards per carry over the past 2 seasons. That's damn good. And yeah, I'm excited to see this guy, what he can do at the next level. But he certainly seems to have what I'm looking for in a rookie running back. So he could be very, very good this year.
Absolutely. So yeah, he's going to be at the Sports Summit. It's a virtual conference, guys. Get your tickets below. 16 rounds, secure it, put them together. And yeah, so we're looking at it just in the middle of signing this right now and confirming it, but it has been firmed up verbally. So yeah, man, this is exciting stuff, man. Trey Benson. I mean, I'd love to see him as a Cowboy. That would be amazing. Amazing. They need.
Yeah, there's several places I'd be excited if he ended up
where.
there.
Like,
So,
give me where would you like to see him?
Well, I think it would be good to see him. I think obviously San Diego. We've also got. Boy, you're putting me on the spot here. Chicago needs an RB1. Yeah. They don't have an RB1. They got tons of picks. They got they already have 6 picks in the first 3 rounds, and they're probably going to get a 7th when they trade when they trade the quarterback. So that's another pick for them, probably in the 2nd round. So they have the draft capability to get a running back.
Let me take a look here. Who needs a running back here? Green Bay needs a running back. Aaron Jones is old. AJ Dillon sucks.
AJ Dillon's going to be released, so they're not even going to have him.
The Bears, as long as Fields is gone, I don't like the running quarterback option. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much. I'd love to see him in Dallas, really. And that's it, man. And the Chargers.
There's Houston. There's.
But again, those free agents are lingering. Your Henry, he's going to end up there. You got
right. That's true. They could end up there. But again, I think there's a real glut of running backs. It's continued from last year to this year. You've also got Alexander Madison was released, AJ Dillon was released. You got all these subpar running backs that are also floating around in the free agent pool. But like I said, Trey Benson's going to be cheaper than any of those free agent running backs.
You're freezing up there,
in the
Jim.
right situation. So
You're froze up there, but we got it. So, guys, drop some comments below. Questions, comments. We'll answer a couple of questions, and we're gonna head out here. See if there's any questions. People aren't asking questions because we weren't telling them to, asking them to. Yeah, if you have any questions, drop them below. But what I want to do, Jim, is I want to start these shows with the news, right? And then we're gonna roll into the topic, and then at the end we'll do like a Q&A. In this case, not hundreds of people here yet, but this is going to be in the thousands during prime time. We are in the dead of the season. And that's why I'm telling you. If you guys are here now, and we have thousands roll through, but in the regular season, but right now in the hundreds, but we want to get that up. So if you guys have any specific questions, we'll start doing Q&As as it starts ramping up here more in the off season. So yesterday we had a bunch of questions. Today, people are aware that we cover everything. That's the thing. When we're thorough with these guys, people have the questions. Now, Kazi says, Corum, Benson, and Wright are my top 3 running backs. Kazi.
Well, there you go, man. We got all 3 of them on our list. How about that?
Yes. Yeah, man, I'm just like super excited to see where these guys land. I think that's the biggest part of it. So
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, man, secure your ticket to the summit. I've linked it below. Smash thumbs up, turn on the bell.
Hey, when is the summit again?
August 23rd. Sorry, yeah, is it August? Oh my God, I should know this. It's Wednesday, whenever that Wednesday is. It's the 21st or 23rd. My brain's not braining right now. It's the 21st of August. It's at 7:30 Eastern, but it's gonna go for like 3 hours. So if you show up a little bit late, you could just show up, So we're gonna have a schedule out on like when each player comes out. So if you're there to see Trey, then you come on whatever he's designated, or if you want to stay for the whole thing. You don't have to be present to win the PS5. So we're going to announce it, but then we'll email the right person and then send it out. So it'll be good, man. It'll be really good.
This is exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, Jim. You get to meet some of these athletes, and then you could trash talk some of them right to their face. I'm just kidding. No. We're going to everybody that
Trey, looking at your stats here, I think you suck. Is that correct?
No. Everybody that we have on, they're 16 round worthy. So I would never bring somebody on the show that has had years to wow me, and I'm not wowed. So everybody
no Austin Eckler?
There's going to be no Austin Eckler. There's going to be no Dalvin Cook. There's going to be no Blake Bortles. There's going to be none of those guys. Blake Bortles. Remember that guy? What a slug he was. Talking about years to wow me. I'm not. No Joe Flacco. If you're wacko, you got to draft Joe Flacco. Yeah, mind you, he did okay in fantasy last year. I was like, wow, Joe Flacco, really? That's crazy.
Yeah, but he's not that old. That's the thing. He's only like 34. So really? he still can sling it. Yeah. I would have thought he'd be like close to 40 at this point.
He's 30. No, he's 39. He's 39.
Oh, is he 39? Oh, okay. I must be mistaken. I must be thinking of someone else. But
he's 39. No, he's not.
I mean, he can still sling it, man. That's good. Just think if the Jets had kept him. They could have kept him. He's not like he's that expensive as a quarterback. Yeah. And he was so good for them last year when Zach Wilson was injured. 2 seasons ago when Zach Wilson was injured. They could have kept him on the roster, and they didn't. And they just screwed their whole season. They probably could have been pretty good. They probably could have made the playoffs had they retained him for 2023. But, it's all done. You can't change it now. So,
all right, Jim. Thanks, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, thumbs up, and those are some rookie running backs. Make sure you guys are aware. Well, we'll lay it out in 16 rounds when to grab these guys to get them ahead of everybody else. I tend to draft these guys a round or two before the ADP gets sheepsist because I want them. I want that upside of the rookie running back in a league where there's so many committees. We want those workhorses. So, hopefully, there's a big chance they might end up in a committee, but there's also a chance they may be the starters. So. It'll be interesting, man. And one more thing I want to say is that there's a ton of guys that just could emerge that we're not even talking about. We're talking about Trey Benson, these guys, but there could be a running back like Jonathan Brooks who's dealing with that knee injury, right? And there's Ray Davis and there's Braylon Allen. I'm looking at my notes here. Bucky Irving and all these guys. Audric Estem. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that. There's other guys, and again, depending on landing spot, they could emerge. An injury happens, right? Like you ends up on the Browns. Chubb comes out. God forbid, hurts his knee again or just can't continue or something, and then that running back becomes a starter. So anything can happen. It's the Wild West. It's fantasy football. That's life. All right. All right, Jim.
Just wait for the draft. The draft is 2 months away, right? It's at the end of April. So we will see what happens.
Subscribe, thumbs up, and we'll talk to you soon. We are out.